then what did you do? Let's talk about that time period.
Well, I came down to Alton. I had a sister in Alton, and I came down here just looking for a job for the summer. Because during the high school years, I drove a school bus. Because we could drive a school bus when you turned 16. And so I was kind of excited about having a job and going to school, because most of the people there, even the grown-up, they was working on farms, and they wasn't making any more than $3 to $4 a day. And the school bus was paying $3 a day, so, and they paid the grown-up $4, paid the kids in school $3. But it was interesting, and that was one reason, since this guy had a school here, he was figured I might have to, if I stayed around, to drive the school bus for the little kids. Because they had what do you call it, employment agents down here, and they would get you jobs, and so that's a job for the summer. But
when they had the jobs listed, were they listed for colored and for white?
I'm not sure about down there, but no, they had the agent, and they had it set up where, but they would get a percentage for 3 months or 6 weeks or something. Now, anyway, they would just you qualify for a certain job. But I'm not too sure about this employment agent down here. But
So what high school did you go to?
I went to a high school in Corcoran called George Washington Carver, original high school, because it was a high school in Orange County for the blacks. So the Orange County, Madison, Culpeper, and Rappahannock County, they got together and formed this original school, and it opened up in '49, and we started going to high school in the 8th grade. And it was nice to get to high school because we got to meet different people from all over, different counties and stuff, and it was real exciting.
How long did it take you to get to school with your bus after picking up? How long was it? An hour ride, 2 hours, 3 hours?
No, usually we would leave. I sometimes would leave probably about maybe 6:30 in the morning, because I had to go and pick up the elementary school and then drop them off in Orange County, and the high school kids would be, some of them would be on there, and then I have to go to Culpeper. So it usually would take maybe I said 2 hours anyway. Yeah, to get to school.
How were your buses?
Oh, they was fair, but they was old. They wouldn't give us any new buses. They kept all the newer buses. The only time we got new buses when our old bus broke down, and they would just let us use it until they repaired the old bus. And I guess, but it kept running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you came down here to Falls Church, or in Northern Virginia, what was segregation like?
Oh, segregation in Falls Church to me seemed worse than up in Orange County, because in Orange County we could go to the theaters, but we had to go up in the balcony. So when I came down to Northern Virginia, we couldn't go to any theaters, walk-in theaters, or even the drive-in in Murfield. You couldn't go to the drive-in in Murfield, other theaters. You had to go all the way to Manassas to go to a drive-in. And to go to a walk-in theater, you had to go to Alexander or D.C. And it was quite different. Even though I thought I was coming to the Northern Virginia area, that it would be different, but it was almost worse than it was up in Orange County.
So at the State Theater in Falls Church, you couldn't go there?
No.
They didn't even have a balcony?
No, I guess not. But they didn't let you in anyway. And they had the one down here at the Jefferson Inn. But you couldn't go to a walk-in theater back in the 60s.
So what about the restaurants here? Were there restaurants that you just couldn't go in?
No, yeah, they didn't allow you in there to the integration, in the mid-60s.
So how did whites treat you here in Northern Virginia? Were they mean, nasty, nice?
Oh no, of course, the barbershop, they was nice. A lot of them would come over just to get haircuts, and especially if they were selling something. But anyway, a lot of them come over and get haircuts and stuff. And really, I guess in '66 after integration, we seen quite a few white barbers and stuff that come over because they passed the law in '66 or so that if you barber, you cut hair, no matter what color.
So let's go back. So there was the rule, there was a law that you couldn't cut white hair?
No, no. A lot of black barbers cut white only. They would have the shop, like in Charlottesville. They had certain shops that blacks they even owned. They would cut white, but they wouldn't allow blacks to come in and get haircuts. There was quite a few shops set up over Virginia like that. They cut white only. And only time.
Now, did blacks have their own barbershops? Were they?
Oh yeah, blacks had their shops.
Okay.
And the black barbers was cutting the white guys' hair, but they wouldn't cut yours in the shop. But yeah, blacks, even in Little Orange, I was surprised when I got here that it wasn't. But it wasn't a little barber shop here, because the little town of Orange had 3 barber shops for blacks.
Yeah.
And but most of the barbers would just work on the weekends and stuff. You might have one barber shop that would stay open all week because there wasn't enough clientele to keep it open. But life wasn't too bad growing up because I guess the parents, they knew, and you had to, like in those days, you had to do what your parents tell you to do. If they tell you to go so and so or whatnot.
Did they tell you how to act around white people?
Oh well, with my parents, yeah, they let you know. No, they let you know that you was human, and you that all people was human, and you act your way accordingly. But a lot of people, though, I remember one time this lady, I was working for this lady, and I came to the front door. They liked for the blacks to go to the back door, but this lady, she was nice, and you know me ever since I was young. I went to the front door, and the lady, the black lady came to the door, and she said, "There's a little color boy out here," and she wouldn't let me in the front door. And the lady says, "Is it Herman Smith?" And she said, "No, it's a little color boy." And anyway, I said, "Yeah," and I just walked on by because I guess my father's named Herman Smith too. She knew him, but anyway, but most of the people that in my area, though, we got along good with the whites, mostly. I guess by my parents and they growing up there, and they was kind of strong around the area. And a lot of white people would come to my mother and ask for information about the history and stuff around that area and all. And I often wondered, I would ask her, I said, "Why do they come to you?" and want to know and this and that, because they would ask about black and white. My mother knew quite a bit of history around. She was born there. Grandfather was also born in that area.
Yeah.
And they knew it. They kind of respected it pretty well.
So you graduate from high school, you come here, and you work here for about a year, and then do you go into the Navy?
No, I went into the Navy first.
Okay.
I worked, right after high school, after working that summer job at the school, James Monroe School up here. And then I went back home and I did a little farm work on the farm. And then I decided to go in the Navy because the farm wasn't paying me no more than $60 a month. And the Navy, I think, at the time was paying maybe about $80 or $90. So I figured I'd go in the armed forces. And I went in the Navy in 1960. And I thought I was going to San Diego, but they shipped me to Great Lakes. But it was nice anyway. It was in one of March. We had snow and stuff.
What were race relations like?
Well, in the Navy, the Navy at that time was, as long as you was on base and everything went good. And I think, but they shipped me from, after training and boot camp from Great Lakes, they shipped me to Louisiana. And on the base was okay. Everybody got along all right, but if we go to town, and everything was set. And I never forget when I first got there, we didn't have any laundromats or anything on the base, and this white guy said, "I know where a laundromat at." And so I said, all right, because they had to wash the clothes. So I went to the laundromat with him, and all of a sudden, police cars was all around the laundromat. And he said to me, man, I guess something must be going on out there. And there wasn't anybody in the laundromat but the guy and me. And so all of a sudden, all the police came in the laundromat. And they was wondering what was I doing there. And I was told to wash the clothes. They told me I couldn't wash clothes here. And I said to the washing it. They wanted me to take my wet clothes out of the washing machine and whatnot. But eventually, the guy convinced him that he'd take the clothes out of the washing machine and go back to the base. And so they put me in the police car, and I told the guy, I said, now if I'm not back at the base, you know where I'm at. So, but what they did, they took me in the black community and showed me where I'm supposed to be and where I'm supposed to wash my clothes and all. So, and it
That's
was
an
pretty rough.
incredible story.
Yes, yeah, at that time. But then another incident happened to me on Main Street, and maybe years ago, because I was a gate setter, and all the guys on the base, like I said, and one of his girlfriends, one of the fellas' white girlfriends, was talking to me on Main Street, and the police came by and told us we was blocking the street, and we just moved to the side. And then the next thing I know, this time he came and got the girl, and later on she told me that the police told him that she knew better than to talk to me on Main Street and whatnot. But yeah, it was something back there in the 60s. Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
Now, you said you did a sit-in too in Charlottesville.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about that. What happened there?
Oh well, my friend.